Hey guys, and this is a very much anticipated video. So I know and you guys know y'all clicked on this video to see if I passed the NCLEX. And we're gonna get right into it. Did I pass the NCLEX? And the answer is yes, I did pass the NCLEX as of April 10th, 2020. And the order of this video is going to be before the NCLEX, how I prepped, my study tips, and as a disclaimer, what works for me may not work for the next person. So what I did to pass the NCLEX, also talking about taking the NCLEX during a time like this. We all know we're all dealing with the pandemic of COVID-19. So taking the NCLEX while, dealing with that, as well as during the test. I can't really say much about the test or during the test, but just like how I was feeling and everything. And then after the test, finding out my results using the Pearson Vue trick. And we're going to get right into the video, okay? So, I graduated December 2019, so a couple months ago, and my school provided us with UWorld. So they provided us with that. We didn't have to pay out of pocket for it. They gave it to us right before graduation. So my study tools were UWorld and Mark Clinic lectures. And if you're a nursing student, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, you have my information. You can always, hit me up on social media or something like that, and we can, negotiate something, talk about something. I can help you out. But nevertheless, so my school provided us with UWorld, and it was only like a 2-month package deal. So what I did was started the beginning of January. So I started the beginning of this year because my goal was to take the NCLEX in March. Most people may say, oh, the earlier you take the NCLEX, the better, so you won't forget your information you learned in nursing school, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy and all, but listen to what I say. Very, very, very clear. Please listen to what I say. If you do not feel prepared, please, I'm saying, begging you, please do not take your exam if you do not feel prepared. I do not care if you are fresh out of nursing school and you may feel like you know what you're talking about because you're straight out of nursing school. I mean, some people are like that. Some people can do that. But I'm telling you, think about yourself, not what somebody else say, because they're not taking the test for you. It's going to be you and your body, your mind, sitting down in front of that computer taking that test. So when you feel ready, please take it. But don't rush to take it at all, because that determines if you're going to be a nurse, and that's about $350 down the drain if you do not pass. But nevertheless, UWorld, I started in January, 2 months. And Mark Clinic lectures, I started that probably around January as well. So with the Mark Clinic lectures, there was about 12 lessons within that lecture package or whatever. And the first time I listened to it straight. I didn't write anything down. I just listened to it. All 12 of them, just listened to it as I was driving in the car. When I used to work in the back room. So I used to have my AirPods in, listening to it, just listening to it. As far as UWorld, so with UWorld, it was 2100 question bank. It was 2 self-assessment tests that were 100 questions each. And my original date of taking the NCLEX was March 11th. Now, my school also provided the graduates with a 2-day NCLEX review. So with me going to that NCLEX review, and I do apologize, I don't remember the company's name. I'm not even sure if I can even put the company information in this video like that. So like I said, if you would want that, just holler at me on my Instagram, Snapchat, social medias, and I got you. But with that 2-day review, I realized that I was doubting myself. I'm not gonna lie. It was me taking UWorld, I was getting 50s on exams at first. I took the first assessment, I got a 50 as well. So I was just doubting myself, like, should I push back my test? Like, what's going on? Like, you know, I wasn't sure. So while taking a 2-day review, it had me wondering, like, do I really know what I think I know? It had me wondering, like, should I push my exam back? And that's exactly what I did, was push my exam back by 2 weeks. So and I'm gonna just stop right here and let y'all know my exam date changed like 4 times. 3 out of those 4 times was involuntary. The first time I changed it, that was all me. But the other 3 times, it was not me. So I changed it back 2 weeks. So the new date was March 25th. So I'm talking to classmates who already took the exam, telling them that I'm making 50s on my test on UWorld. What should I do? Now, UWorld lets you take a maximum of 75 questions at once. Coming straight out of nursing school, I was used to taking 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 100 plus questions at a time. So I was going with the max 75 questions, and I would not finish the test. Oh, I'm sorry. I would not finish the test, or I wouldn't do that good on the test because I would get distracted because it just took me so long to get through the test because I was reading the rationales to the ones that I was getting wrong. So I started talking to classmates who already passed the NCLEX at the time, and they were saying that they were taking tests with shorter amount of questions in them. So like 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and so on. They were taking smaller amount of tests, and I decided to do the same thing. So once I started to lessen the number of questions that I had per test, I realized that I was getting through the bank faster that way, and it allowed me to actually have time to look at the rationales for the questions I was getting wrong. Okay, so that's my first thing that I started to do with UWorld, which was do smaller questions at a time. And no, I did not time them. I mean, like, I didn't really see a point in timing them, but we'll get into that when I get into the amount of hours that the test was. So I pushed my test back to March 25th now. And then a couple of days after the review, I realized, like, maybe I am ready. So you guys, I pushed my test back up by 1 week. So now my new date was March 18th. Now, this was the final date. Like, this was going to be the day I was going to take my NCLEX. Like, I was prepared. I took my second self-assessment test in UWorld, and I improved, but I was instead, okay, so the first test I took, I made a 50, which was a low prediction of passing the NCLEX. The second time I took it, I improved, but I got a borderline, and I made a 56. Even though I made a 56, I was still going to take the exam because it was a young lady on here who made a video about the UWorld self-assessment predictor test, saying that she made a low prediction of passing the NCLEX, and she still took it, and she got the minimum amount of questions, and she passed. So I told myself I wasn't going to let that, determine if I was going to still take the NCLEX or not. And plus, I did have a little improvement from the last time. Now, that 2-day NCLEX review I took with my school, it really taught me test-taking strategies. And this is very important. This was like one of the biggest lessons that the lady who came and taught us was trying to get through to us. Test-taking strategies as in reading the question thoroughly and realizing what the question is really asking of you. That was my biggest problem. I would jump to conclusions like all girls do. I would jump to conclusions and be like, oh yeah, I know what it's asking me, and then not realizing that it's asking you further or priority, first, best, And with UWorld, they highlight those, those key words in that question. So that really helped me with, you know, examining the questions, like taking my time, actually seeing what the question is asking of me, rereading the question multiple times if you have to. And once I start doing that, my score started to improve. So that's point number 2. Read the questions thoroughly and, you know, practice test taking strategies. Okay? Yeah. So on to 2 days before me taking the NCLEX, March 18th. So March 16th, I took that second test, and COVID-19 swept in, and businesses were being, you know, on hold. And the testing center was one of the businesses that were being on hold because they wanted to practice social distancing. So with that being said, my test was canceled. And it was told that we had to schedule a month away. So now I'm rushing to the website trying to schedule the earliest test available, and in my city it was April 22nd. So now April 22nd is my 4th date. Yeah, that's my 4th date, April 22nd. And with that being said, I took a week or 2 break because I'm like, my brain hurt. Like, I got a whole month, away to take my test. I'm going to take a week or 2 break. So that's exactly what I did. And I told myself 3 weeks before the exam is when I was going to start back studying. Okay? So let's fast forward to April now. The beginning of April. I remember it was April 4th. I was talking to a classmate. She wanted to take her exam soon as well. So we were just talking about it. And then we found out that they resumed test taking. So we were able to start taking tests again earlier than, you know, what we expected it to be, because they need nurses at this time like this. So we were talking about, oh yeah, you know, we can start testing soon, and you know, it is less questions. So instead of the minimum being 75 and the max being 265, now due to COVID-19, the minimum was 60 and the maximum was 130. In my head, I'm thinking, this can make me or this could break me. This may be a better opportunity, or it can probably hurt me. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. But nevertheless, that's my word for the day. Nevertheless, me and my classmate was talking, and I told her, because recently I went to look on the website to see when was an earlier test date available. And I told her, now this is April 4th, and I told her the next test date was April 7th. So I'm telling her that I want to take it April 7th because I just want to get it out the way. I just want to get this monkey off my back and monkey on my shoulder. I just feel like it was like weighing me down heavily. So I'm telling her, like, you know, I want to take April 7th, but I took a whole 2-week break. Like, it was so much stuff that I wanted to accomplish before taking my test. So I was just like, nah, I'm going to stick to my April 22nd date. Like, it's cool. Like, you know, that'll give me time to accomplish my goals. So my friend is agreeing with everything I'm saying, but then she goes to say, you know what, I'm just going to go for it and I'm going to take it on that date. So within 3 days, she took her exam and she passed. So April 4th, while I'm talking to her about that, you know, I'm on the website. I want to see whether dates available. And I realized that my April 22nd date is gone. It was unscheduled. Like, Pearson unscheduled my exam for April 22nd. Like, what is going on here? So I'm freaking out. I'm going crazy. Like, I call up the Pearson customer service line and I'm telling them, like, hey, you know, my exam got canceled. I don't know if I did it. I don't know if I pressed something by mistake. Is there any way you can get me back on my original date? And the man's like, oh, it's due to COVID-19 and I'm sorry, that date is not available right now. So I'm freaking out, and he's like, oh, you know, I can schedule you for another date if you would like. So I'm like, is there any way you can put me back on April 22nd? Like, please, please, please. And he's like, unfortunately, I cannot. The next date available is June 2nd. June 2nd? That's 2 months away. 2 months away. I might as well have, you know, taken it on April 7th, if that's the case. So I'm asking the man, he is no help to me. I'm asking him, like, what you're seeing on your end, on your screen, is that the same thing I'm seeing on my screen? And he's like, yeah. So I just hang up the phone because I'm pissed now. You can't help me, sir. Now I have to take matters into my own hands. And I'm just searching for places that's close by. I'm like, I would travel to take this exam at this point. So it was no place close by in my area, but I'm from South Florida. So I was checking places down there, and lo and behold, they had a few available testing centers that was open. But the only thing was, it was the same exact week. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm thirsty. So the test dates were the same week. This all happened on a Monday. They had testing available from that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Nothing else after that. That's it. So I know I'm rambling because I'm still stuck on the beginning before the test and everything. I'm sorry. Let me hurry this up. So my goals before taking the test was to complete UWorld Test Bank. That was one goal. So at this moment, I had 350 questions left to complete within those 4 days. Another goal was to listen to Mark Clement lectures another go round. And to listen to like the key, but this time, this would have been my third time listening because within these months, I was listening to him again, and I was thoroughly listening to him and typing notes so it can just stick with me. But I wanted to listen to him a third time, but this time I listened to like the key lectures, like about priority delegation, lab values, and stuff that I feel like I wasn't as good with. That's what I listened to him with. Okay, so that's my goals. So I tried to squeeze in 350 questions in 4 days, as well as try to go over some of my wrong questions I got on UWorld and Mark Clement. Now, I did not finish all 350 questions. I had 150 left, and I had a couple of wrong questions that I had left over. I didn't even get a chance to review. So the day before the test now, I drove down to Miami. On my way down, I listened to those Mark Clement lectures that I wanted to, you know, brush up on. And then I also went home. I came home. I got home probably like that afternoon. So when I got home, I was going on YouTube. Shout out to Registered Nurse RN. I was looking at her videos on my weak areas. So like burns, lab values, like crunches, canes, walkers, like stuff like that. I was watching her videos on. And then she has a quiz at the end of every video, and I took those quizzes, and those really helped me a lot. And then I was going over my Mark Clement notes. And then once I realized that I hit all areas, I stopped studying at 11:30. Now, people have told me not to study the day before, but my hard-headed self was just like, I have to know this information. I have to squeeze this information in. So I stopped studying at 11:30 p.m. and my test was 12 p.m. the next day. Now, I couldn't go to sleep the day before, but eventually I did. And I woke up at 9:15 a.m. the day of my exam, and I left the house at 10 a.m. Now, the testing center was about 25 minutes away from my house. So I left at 10, and I went towards the area the testing center was in, and I got to Chick-fil-A before they closed for breakfast, and I got me some, what's those things called? Chicken minis for breakfast. I ate a breakfast, nothing too heavy. And then I got to my testing center probably like 10:45. So for about 20 minutes, I sat in the car. So around 11, a little after 11, I was looking over notes. So a little after 11, I said, you know, at this point, if I don't know it, I don't know it. I closed my laptop and I prepared to go into the testing center, of course, with my gloves and my mask. And I prepared to go to the testing center. So now I'm at the testing center. And once you get in the testing center, you know, you have to read your rules and your rights of what not to do, not to discuss anything. So I'm not even going to really get into this video about how the test was. But I'm just going to tell you how I felt during the test. You know, during the test, all I could really think about was pass or fail. Like, I just really felt like my anxiety took completely over me to the point I felt my brain was blank. Like, maybe it was because I crammed the night before, but all I could think about is what if, what if, what if. And at question 40, that's when I decided to take a break. I was told by multiple people to take a break. So at question 40, I took a break. I wasn't really looking at my timer or my questions that much. I was just like getting through the questions, and I took a break at question 40. I went to the restroom and I tried to calm myself down because my heart was beating out my chest so bad. So I went to the bathroom and I calmed myself down and told myself it was going to be okay. You know, trying to, you know, give myself a pep talk in the bathroom. And actually, when I came back, I actually felt way more better. Like, my anxiety went down a little bit, and I was in go mode at this point. For like a handful of questions, I did not use that erase board they give you. But then, like, after my break, I started to say, like, okay, let me break down what the question is asking of me. And that's when I used the board to kind of write down what I know about, you know, the question. So now I took a break at 40. I look at the question when it's on 59. I probably had 1 or 2 questions after that and my exam shut off. And I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling so down. Like, you know, I'm not feeling good. Like, I'm not feeling good about this test at all. And the crazy thing about it is, in my head, I'm just saying, like, I know this information. Like, I don't know why my anxiety really took over my brain, but I know this information. So I'm just walking out of the testing center kind of, you know, kind of down about the situation. You know, a lady telling me good luck and everything. I'm just like, in my head, I'm really honestly thinking, like, I'm gonna be bad. So in my head, all I could think about is getting to the car and calling my mom, dad, aunt, boyfriend, and friends about the test. And I'm just letting them know, like, hey, y'all, like, honestly, like, I let my anxiety take over. I might have to come back. Like, I was just being 100% honest with them. Like, I might have to come back and take this test because, like, my mind just went blank in that room. Like, I was just so nervous. And they just telling me, you know, like, you know, it's okay. Calm down. Don't let it get to you too bad. Don't think about it too much. If you have to come back, now you know how the test is set up and what you need to focus on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not letting it, you know, get to me too bad, you know, whatever. But the whole time in the car, I'm thinking of, hey, you know, I've heard they got a trick where you can find out if you passed or not. So what do? As soon as I get home, I go on YouTube and I look up how to determine if you pass the test or whatever like that. I don't know. On YouTube. And it's called the Pearson Vue trick. So I'm just going to give a rundown about it. And basically with the Pearson Vue trick, you have to act like you're registering to take the exam again, have a valid credit card or debit card. And what you'll do is just put in the wrong expiration date or the wrong CVV code on the back of your card. So that's what I did. I did both. I put in the wrong expiration date and I put in the wrong CVV card. And actually, don't quote me because I cannot remember my exact pop-up that it was. But if you put in the card information and you get a pop-up that says incorrect card information decline or something of that terms where it couldn't read the card, you failed. And I know for sure that means that you have failed, because I have, I witnessed that with somebody. As well as if you have another pop-up that says you recently tried to register for this exam, you can't, we cannot do this at this time, something like that, I can actually insert my pop-up right here. So if you have that pop-up, you passed. And I realized that I had that pop-up and I was freaking out, because I'm just telling everybody, I don't know. And I get a good pop-up. But, we don't know at the time if that's, 100% correct. So when I see that pop-up, I run to my mom like, oh my God. Like, I gotta, trying to explain to her what's going on. But it's just like, she's looking at me like, are you okay? Like, she's looking at me like, okay, we're just gonna wait to get your results, So now my anxiety and my depression kind of goes away a little bit, because I keep watching like so much videos on the Pearson Vue trick, and everybody's saying like it works 99.9% of the time. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm passed, So I'm telling people like, hey, this is what I got, and look at this video so you can know what I'm talking about. So I took my test on a Friday. So I didn't officially get my results on my license number until Monday. I guess it's like a business day type of thing. So the whole weekend, I'm just anxious. I'm checking the website multiple times a day, making sure I get the same pop-up and everything. So I'm telling people like, we're going to see on Monday, because, there'll be a business day. So lo and behold, Monday comes and my license is on the Florida Health Department website, and I am ecstatic. I am so happy. Everybody is so happy for me, and I really don't know what to say at this point, because like, I really didn't think that I was gonna make it out that room a registered nurse. I didn't think that, but it still really has not hit me that I'm a registered nurse. But it's just like, I would tell people, try to take this exam at this time, where you don't have so much questions, and they need people. And honestly, I still don't know what my plans is going to be, as far as if I want to, help out with the COVID-19 pandemic and stuff like that. So, maybe I can make an updated video when I do land a job as a registered nurse, and let you guys know what's going on. But as of right now, everybody's just so happy for me, and I'm so happy as well, and I'm just ready to move on to this next chapter of life, and lend a helping hand to people in need and do my duties on this earth. So I know this video was pretty long, so if anybody has any questions, if I didn't answer or if I left something out, you have my contact information as far as how to reach me on my social medias. And I would like to tell everybody, thank you for watching. And if you're watching my video and you're a nursing student or you're a new grad and stuff like that, comment down below. Let me know how you feel about the video. Let me know if my information helps you guys. And like I said, I'm going to also have a video about nursing school. So have a good day, y'all.